Alright, so after downloading the free textures, how do we apply those? Very similar to what we've been doing, except we have two, actually there's extra maps in there, but to keep it to a minimum or to simplify things, we're just going to be using our roughness map and our normal map. So normally what we do is when we apply a roughness to this. So let's say I go to my shader right here. I change the color, let's say um, to blue. Let's go to our look div right here. And we have our roughness right here. So when this one is all the way to 1, it's super rough. You're not going to see any type of reflection. However, when we do 0 on the roughness, it's very glossy, very reflective. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace this with a map that will basically tell us which part can be shiny only and which one can be rough. Okay. So because without a specific location for roughness, everything else is affected. So the whole thing becomes rough. The whole thing becomes shiny. So when you use a map, then you can actually specify that. So let's take a look at our map. I downloaded those on a brick. So if I go here and look at my color map. So this is our main map, which is the color map. Its job is just to show you what the brick process is. And it looks like my computer went bonkers. Okay, so let's go back to that one when we see it right here. Let's apply that. So let's make this one easier by going to shading tab right here. So we can go to our shader. I'm going to zoom in on our object a little bit. And I'm going to go here to kind of find where that one is. So let's apply it. Same thing as before. I'm going to click and drag my brick color. And of course this one replaces my base color. Okay, upon doing that, once we have our, alright, so there it is. There's ways that we can control the size of this one. Okay, so we'll leave it as is for now. Okay, demoing purpose. Okay, next one is we have our normal map. There's two types that we use here. One is normal. Sometimes we use a bump map. A bump map is a grayscale version of the photo. A normal map is this kind of purplish three-tone multi-shade. Oh, it finally showed up. Uh, Map. So basically, this is the same photo altered so that it can look grayscale. It can look like a normal map, so on and so forth. Okay. So right here, I'm going to look at, let's say, with a horizontal list here so we can just see the name. So you'll see that there's a name after it, right? Underscored. So we'll know which one to use. So next one we're going to use is the normal map. Okay, I'm going to drag it here. Oops, sorry. There we go. So the normal map, as you can see here, if you look at those two shaders, images, their color space is sRGB. So everything that we plug to our shader, only the color deserves an sRGB. Everything else should be converted because they're not color, even though it looks like color on the normal map. So we're going to put this as a non-colored color space, which is our normal map, which was the purplish looking one. Okay, so we can't plug this directly to normal because the color here is yellow, so we need some sort of conversion. Okay, so we're going to add a new node. So this is something new. We haven't done this before. So I'm going to go add and then vector normal map. Okay, let me repeat that one. Add vector normal map. If I click that, I'll have this new node right here called normal map. As you can see now, yellow to yellow, color to color will connect. And then normal to normal. Watch the difference here. See how smooth and flat this one is? Looks like wallpaper, right? Looks like you printed a picture of a brick and then you just glued it to a wall. Watch when I plug the normal. All right, we'll wait for it. There you go. So now you're seeing some sort of fake elevation in there. All right, you see that there looks like some depth to it. So let me go before and after. Before and after. There's a strength here that we can control, so I can make this one a little bit more obvious by cranking it up. So, and this is all fake geometry. This thing is still a cube. Okay, a displacement map would actually alter that. So this is good for what we do. It gives it that sort of fake depth to it, and for a fraction of the cost of using a displacement map. All right, so let me tone that down a bit. Okay, maybe 1.2. All right. Last one is we have the roughness map. So I'm going to drag that. Okay, so let's kind of fix this. Our color right there, border of our normal, I put it down here. Okay, the roughness map. Again, the roughness map is also a non-color data. I'm going to change that to non-color. And this guy I can plug directly to roughness. However, we're not going to be happy with the result when I do that, because can't really specify. I mean, there are some parts that are, we couldn't really tell it. Okay, all right, you can tell a little bit that there's some changes in there. Which one is supposed to be shiny, which one's not. So in our case here, probably the brick will be shiny, the mortar will not be shiny. So we need to add like a middleman here, so we can control that. Okay, so I'm gonna go to add. I'm gonna go to converter, color ramp. Okay, I'm gonna click on color ramp, and I'm just going to actually drop it in the middle, and it automatically connects it. Okay, but if you want to see where that connects, so color goes to factor, and color to roughness. Okay, we have this gradient slider right here. So if I move, watch what happens if I move the white. Okay, and I move the black here. Let's see if we're going to see any. A little bit. So I have to really push it down here for us to actually see that. There you go. It's quite subtle until we actually reach that point. So I might have to add some numbers here to kind of, there you go, to kind of control how much it's shiny and whatnot. All right, so now as you can see, it's still a little shiny there, so let me kind of reverse that one, maybe add another one here, see if I can push that, make that one a little white. It's not very significant because of it's a little too sensitive. So I'm gonna push this here and work on the black instead. All right, let's just do it that way. So now you can see that the brick is shiny and the mortar is not. Okay, so let's take a look at our minimum setup here again. So now we've learned how to add the color map, which we've done before. And here we have our roughness map that is connected to a color ramp. And then finally our normal map connected to a normal map, plug into the normal, and you can ease up on the strength or you can go crazy. Okay, gives it that illusion of depth. So we're going to use this for the wood material as well. So I'm going to end this one here.